where this black girl has something to say. And y'all see I got my Nassau shirt on. That means this is a pre-recorded live. So that means I am on the cruise. It is the first day of the cruise, but today I'm going to be talking about what happened in April. So April 2024 came in and it was busy, 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 work, 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 work. Because I was a professor and I was working on a few things simultaneously. So I was working on helping students complete what they call a senior project, or most colleges call it a capstone, while also getting other students ready for their capstone. So it was meetings every day in between classes, office hours, and April is when we do faculty evaluations in the spring. So interestingly enough, I think I told you prior to this, there was a change in leadership, and I was like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm gonna stick it out. I'm gonna see what happens. I'm gonna stick it out. Leadership changed. Leadership got weird. Leadership was originally my leadership, but then he became in a higher place, and it just got even more weird. I also was planning. I also was afforded the opportunity to plan a health fair for my children's school with another parent who also has a doctorate. I can't remember what her doctorate is in. But what I came up with the idea when she reached out to me to say, hey, let's plan a health fair. I said, well, I coordinate for the program that is healthcare administration. Why don't I have my students? I assign them each a project, or pretty much I let them choose their area that they're interested in. And again, this was going to be a part of their capstone. I let them choose an area that they were interested in, and they presented that at a table for the students. So I had one student that did smoking and lung health. Another one did like washing hands. Another one did oral health, and I had another student that did yoga for mental health and mental wellness. So it was really good. Then the lady who I collaborated with, because healthcare is collaborative, as my students would say, because that's what I've taught them. We also had a detective out there who was over the sex crimes department that deals with internet crimes against children. We also had I believe Kids in Distress. They were also out there, and I was letting them know how I'm familiar with them, because when I used to work at another place, we used to do glasses for kids who came through Kids in Distress, which is kind of like, they're not always foster kids or kids in the system. Sometimes it's just parents needing that extra help, and so Kids in Distress is an organization that helps with that. But with that being said, yeah, so what happens is, as a professor, April is when they do faculty evaluations for the spring semester, because that's technically the end of our year. So when I went to my evaluation, it was said to me in the evaluation, with just as I explained to you, all of the great things that I've done and get students to be interactive, getting them off campus, to get them experiential learning, because that's what it's all about. Learning doesn't just happen in the classroom. I was then asked, if you have another job, how can you enhance learning for the students? And I just sat there and I was like, I don't have another job. This is the job that I work. My business is not another job. It's a business. And then they proceeded to ask me, like, what are your goals for the next year? And I was like, I don't want to make any goals. After this contract, I'm done. And so my contract didn't end until June 30th, of course. But with that being said, I was like, this is no longer serving me. Like, to antagonize me and to attack me and my character and what I bring to the table as far as students go, come on now. When we talk about what I bring to the table, like, I am the table and the utensils and all of the things that go with the table. So, goodbye. And since then, they've been trying to get me back, and I'm just like, I don't want to come back. So with that being said, like, that was my April. My April was full. Oh, but I'll also add to this. I was seeing the acupuncturist that I work with for a pain in my hip. The minute that I said I'm not signing a new contract, the pain went away. So what does that tell you? It was hurting me to stay there rather than me just being there, and trying to see, is it going to get better? Because it's not. Like, that's a lesson that we can all learn from this. So with that being said, there's some links in the description of this episode that you can interact with. And remember, as always, Black Girls Say Something airs every day for this month at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And be sure to interact with the links in the description of this episode and become a subscriber, because that's where this Black girl has even more to say. Yeah.